Hey, you guys, I'm here today to talk to you about the topic of dealing with grief. And you're probably thinking that it's not really a spiritual type topic or a topic that a practicing witch or energy worker, energy healer would, you know, really be speaking on. But that's the reason I decided to let's talk about this topic today. And that being said, I also just wanted to add that tomorrow is Black Balloon Day, and it's overdose awareness. If you've lost a loved one to drug overdose, tomorrow is the day that we honor them and we bring awareness to that situation. And a lot of places, businesses, and other places that are out there in the community are getting together and having these balloon send-offs where they're releasing black balloons in honor of these lost loved ones. But if you're from a small community like me and there's nowhere locally that's participating, or perhaps you just rather honor your loved one in private, simply just go out and you can use a black balloon because that's what the black balloon represents. But just like I always tell you guys in our craft, we follow our heart. And, if you don't have a black balloon, use any color. Just simply write that person's name on the balloon, or, if you don't want to actually send a balloon up in the air, because I know it's not really safe for the wildlife or whatnot, you can go online and I will attach a link in my description where you can send a virtual balloon by putting it on your timeline, or whatever social media platform that you use. And I know I'm already tripping over my words, but this is a tough one for me because, as you guys know, last year I lost my son to an accidental shooting. And I don't speak on the incident very much, and it's really out of respect for his name, and it's just a hard topic to talk about, to everyone, to all of you. And with that being said, that was part of what struck a chord in me to have this theme today, which is dealing with grief, as a witch, as a energy worker. And we're just normal people. We're like everyone else, but sometimes people seem to think because we embrace witchcraft and because, some of us are gifted to be energy workers and healers, they seem to think that we have this magical way of dealing with grief, that we have this, secret spell that we can use to overcome sadness and to, when we have a emotional or physical, issue, they seem to think that we, can just magically make it all better, and it doesn't work like that. And I just wanted to talk to you today about some of the things that you could do that may help you, and some things that I don't recommend doing. And I guess I'm going to start with the things that I don't recommend doing. It's perfectly normal to miss someone, to want to see them again, to want to have, communication with them again. And you can, it is possible. It doesn't happen exactly the way we want it to happen or when we want it to happen, but it is possible. Anything is possible if you believe, if you have conviction in your beliefs, anything is possible. But you've got to keep in mind that witchcraft, magic, spell work, manifesting, all these things that we do and that we believe in doing, it's not the same as what it's portrayed on TV. If it was, we would be so very lucky. We would be the chosen ones, because if we could snap our fingers and make something happen, there would be no worries at all. Or perhaps there may be more worries than we need, because some of us, like children, don't always know how to act when you're given the ability or the access, or just the permission to do something. And even in grieving, if we were given, the freedom to do as we wanted to do, if we done the things that we felt in our heart, would make us feel better, that would give us peace, we would probably get ourselves in trouble. And the goddess knows this, and she has our best intention at heart. So don't get discouraged, don't get upset, don't renounce your beliefs or anything just because you're in pain or you're grieving, because it'll never ever go away, but it will get better. Each and every day it will get a little better, and then there's going to be days that are bad. But and like I said, I can speak on this from experience. So everything that I'm sharing with you today is just my personal opinion. So don't come at me if you don't agree with something that I say. I just want to quickly, before I start speaking on the negatives, I just want to spray. This is some honeysuckle spray that I made, and I just want to spray it. And as you know, nature is cleansing in itself, but I always add a little extra. And if you feel that you don't need to do so, don't do so. You follow your heart. And I brought my selenite wand today, and I simply brought selenite because for me, selenite is a very common stone. It's a very healing stone, and it's also a very cleansing stone. And I would just like to cleanse anyone that may be feeling any type of pain, physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, grief, anger, resentment, any of these negative emotions. I just want to kind of comb them away, if you will. And as we talk, I'm just going to lay my selenite wand right here in the background, and I'm just gonna talk from the heart. Like I said, I lost my son last year, and I've never ever experienced such pain in my entire life. And once I got through the pain and the anger and the tears and the screaming and the throwing things, once I, let everything quiet down for just a bit, then I was overcome with wanting to see him, wanting to talk to him just one more time, because, the night that this happened, when he left, I did tell him goodbye. I did tell him that I loved him, and as always, I told him to be careful out there. That's just something I've always done with my loved ones. And he left, and within 30 minutes of him leaving the house, this incident took place. So, with that being said, anything can happen at any time. We have no control over everything, and that's just life. But after everything quietened down, I decided that I was going to find a way to talk to him, to reach out to him, to communicate with him. And I did. I did. But before I get to that, I just want to share some things that crossed my mind. And I knew that that was not the way to go. And first off, you're probably going to think just like me, and that was the Ouija board. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not against the Ouija boards. I've used them. I love them. I incorporate them in spell work. But when you are grieving, or any time in your life that you're experiencing any type of negativity, physical, emotional, you do not want to put yourself in the situation to use a Ouija board, because simply put, a Ouija board is a doorway. It's a tool, and anything can be a tool, anything can be a doorway, but this was made, created, and crafted for this one purpose, and that was to be a tool or a doorway. And the reason I say when you're in that state, you don't want to use it, because 90% of the time you're going to use it alone. And I'm not against using one alone, but if you're not experienced, if you're struggling with anything mentally, emotionally, don't do it, because just like you can call a loved one to come through this door, you know, if that loved one can access this doorway, anyone can do so. And when you're in a vulnerable state, entities, spirits, energies, demons, whatever you would like to call them, they pick up on this and they will use that against you. They will attach to you. They will come through, and they may be harmless, but usually if they're gonna try to attach to you in a weakened state, they are out for themselves. They are out to suck you dry of your energy. They are trying to get back to the land of the living, and you may be stronger than I was. Everyone is different, but you may not be. So I just suggest to hold off on the Ouija board. Later on, under someone that is strong enough and experienced enough, under their guidance, I say go for it. Use the Ouija board, but not alone, and not when you are freshly in the state of, loss, of grieving. And sometimes, even now, a year later, I haven't and I wouldn't. I would love to, but I know better. And the next thing I suggest staying away from is a seance. Same thing. It may not be an actual tool to open a doorway, but it is a way. It is a way to call them. It is a way to bridge from our world of the living to their world of the spirit world. And you're making it possible for them to come. You're calling them. And this isn't it. It's not an exact science. We don't know how to, simply call who we want and for that one person to come. We know who we want. We know who to call. They may come, they may not. If they're able to come, I have all idea that they will, but for whatever reason, they may not be strong enough, they may not be ready, they may have simply been ready to move on and they're no longer there. They're not available to you, but you don't know that. So if they're not there, something else is there, because, at these doors, at these portals, at these bridges, there's always what you want to call riffraff hanging around and just waiting. You've been to the corner store and there's always someone just hanging around and waiting for an opportunity. It's the same way with these doorways and anything that is a lower level, a lower vibration. They're gonna trick you. And like I said, when you're in a weakened state, you're heartbroken, you're grieving, it's so easy to believe what you want to believe. So just don't do it. And there's other ways, and I'm not going to get into each and every way. And sometimes things happen when you least expect them. You may go to a place, and it could be the place, if that person died violently, if you go to that place, that could be the doorway. So just whatever you do, however you do it, just be smart, be careful. And there's ways you can reach out to people that are safer. You can simply get somewhere and meditate alone and just, clear your mind and ground and talk to them. They may not come through that very first time, but just keep doing it because, they're in a new place, they're in a new, body, and they've got to learn how to navigate. They've got to build up their vibrations. So just remember them, speak of them in a positive manner. Speak of them like they're still with you. Help to raise their vibrations so they can come through. I suggest, dream work is a great way to make, contact with the lost loved one, and it's a little safer. There's no completely, way that's 100% safe, but there's safer ways. Meditation, just keep calling them, keep trying, day after day. It's going to take some time. You've got to get yourself together and raise your vibration. Another way is using red lights is always been a good way to help spirits and energies navigate from the spirit world to the world of the living. For some reason, that red light, it draws them, it helps them to see their way here. But like with anything, it could be someone that you don't want, someone you don't know. So just be careful. But for me, I have had better luck with dream work. I'm gifted in dream work, but anyone can do dream work. Just do a little research, Think of this person before you go to bed. Lay out some of their favorite foods, If they wore a particular perfume or cologne, spray that. If they liked a particular song, have that playing. And do this, night after night, night after night. And when you go to sleep, you're just thinking of them. If you want to speak out to them and talk to them, do that. And just keep doing it night after night. And eventually, they will find their way to you. They will hear you. And they will come to you in your dreams. And no, it's not the same, and no, we don't understand exactly how dreams work and how spirits work. But it is a safer way to make contact. Just simply speak out. You don't have to dabble in these more dangerous ways to make contact. Just simply speak out, keep their memory alive, and like I always tell you guys, if you believe, you will receive. Much love. Bye-bye, you guys.